Yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy YOINFAMOUS coming back at you again with another YouTube video. Today, we are reacting to Was the Conjuring as good as we remember? Now, when this movie came out, bro, that fucking trailer. Oh yeah, shout out, it's Greaves YouTube. But when this movie came out, bro, that woman on top, was it? There was one that she was on top of the wardrobe thing, right? And she like jumped onto somebody, or she was like hovering over somebody in the bed. That shit creeped me out. I was like 14 some years old, bro. I was like old enough to be like, all right, that's not that scary. But like, bro, I don't know. So when I finally watched The Conjuring, I was like, okay, this is okay. You know what I'm saying? This isn't cinema, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. I watched all three. The second one's clearly the best one. One was, who was one? One was the witch. That one was slow. Two had, I think, the most action, which made it the best. Three was the lady, I think, with the, what was that for? Is there a fourth one? We saw the fourth one time. Three, I think, was the lady that was like mind controlling people. So yeah, that might have been three. I don't remember. Well, let's see. Was the Conjuring as good as we remember? Hopefully you guys remember to hit that like, comment, so all that shit. Comment, you know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up? That's it.
A lot of people will remember the mid-2000s to early 2010s fondly when it comes to horror movies. With releases like Paranormal Activity, Insidious, and today's movie we're talking about, The Conjuring. Now, while The Conjuring series would lose its spark as more releases came out, but I'd argue not as bad as Insidious. Jesus Christ. Also, it's crazy how Patrick Wilson is one of the main characters in two of the biggest horror franchises of the modern age. I'm sure he's rolling in cash. So I want to take a look back at the first Conjuring movie to see whether or not this truly was a great horror film, or do we all just have rose-tinted glasses on? Let's get into it.
Yeah,
start off having a staring contest with Annabelle as a girl in the background is explaining the doll's strange behavior, like her head moving or an arm or leg being in a different position. Then it would turn into the doll being in completely different rooms. Which, God forbid, a demon wants to stretch their legs every now and then. Actually, God would forbid that. You hush, it's too early. These girls are Debbie and Camilla. No idea who the random guy on the right is. I'm not even sure he has any lines in this. He doesn't even have any lines, actually. Someone is playing a prank on him, but the girls expressed that they went to a medium about the doll. And the medium told them the story of Annabelle Higgins, a little girl who died in this apartment at the age of 7. The girls, being nurses, decided they wanted to help because...
Now, the Annabelle movies were decent. I think the first, what was the origin one? It was like Annabelle something. It was like the one with the girl and the well or the pit or something in front of her on the cover art. That one was like slow as fuck to me. Annabelle 1 was okay, and then I think Annabelle, was there a third Annabelle? If there's a third Annabelle, I think that one, Annabelle Comes Home. Yeah, that one was okay. That one was okay as well. I think 1 and 3 were good, but 2 was little...
Because they felt bad for the...
In the release version, I think.
...lumbering spirit, so they gave her permission to move into the doll.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What do you mean you gave her permission? First of all, they didn't even confirm whether or not the spirit in the house was Annabelle. The medium you went to just told you a story about a little girl who died here. You just assumed it was Annabelle?
That is true. That don't make no sense.
And it's also taken aback because the girl's over here playing house with a literal demon. The doll starts leaving messages around the house using crayon because obviously this is the spirit of a child and definitely not an evil entity. That would be ridiculous. Do I look bad to you? Yes. It drew crayon all over the room, broke their framed pictures, and ransacked everything.
Oh, hell no!
First of all, bitch, what job do you have? Just messing up this apartment that I'm renting, by the way. What the fuck do I tell my landlord? A demon vandalized my room? Not only am I being evicted, I'm getting admitted to the nearest mental hospital. One of the girls runs out to throw the doll in the trash. Good job, Debbie. Now you're using your noodle. That night they were here banging on their door, and either somebody's getting raided or Annabelle wasn't very happy with her new home. Oh, who would have guessed? It was the latter. Also, she's banging so loud on this door. Like,
she
Annabelle,
was
beating
the fuck out that door.
Neighbors. I'll be damned if I get woken up in the middle of the night.
It's not even my
fucking doll. Get y'all shit together. Debbie finds the miss me note on the floor, and that would be the moment I'd move out of the apartment. But that's the thing with the demons.
They're not fitting that couch in that car.
Movies, you can never simply get away from them. It's always something convoluted. Why can't I possibly just throw this bitch away and be free? Nah, she gotta come back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
The demon got the nerve to terrorize me and then be mad when I kick it out. The knocking transfers to one of the doors in the apartment. Camilla goes to open it, and you wouldn't believe who's there.
Well, it ain't Barney the purple dinosaur.
Yeah, it's Annabelle.
What the fuck?
Obviously, it's Annabelle.
What was that a reference to?
Now let's address the elephant in the room. Ed and Lorraine Warren in real life honestly weren't the best of people. They were pretty much con artists and were exposed for being frauds. But honestly, their whole thing was a spectacle that people just couldn't take their eyes off of. Also, Ed's real life behavior is a whole nother video within itself. Bottom line is, the fictional versions of Ed and Lorraine we see in these movies are much, much better than their real life counterparts.
Yeah.
They're more like supernatural superheroes who help out various people being tormented by demonic entities.
Changing history. Just change the history.
The Samaritans. They informed the girls that there was never any Annabelle. Fucking knew it! Whatever this thing is, used their kindness against them and tricked them into thinking it was some sad little girl who just wanted friends. You see, you gotta stop falling for those sob stories. That's how them girls...
This nigga on the right's pissing me off because he doesn't say shit.
Got to be getting y'all. The demon just wanted to play hopscotch in their bodies. Damn, bitch, at least take me on a date first. We would cut from this footage of them interviewing the girls to Ed and Lorraine teaching a class full of people, which I actually like because in the most recent Conjuring movie, Last Rites, it shows them teaching a class and it barely has anybody in there. Similar to the real life audience of demon possession movies. They lost the attention of the masses. It wasn't as interesting today as it was in yesteryear. And the same for real life with Ed and Lorraine. They simply just lost.
It just gets boring, bro, because I don't know. With horror movies like this, it's always like you gotta remember the name, or you call on Jesus, or some, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very formulaic, which is why horror movies like this, the demon ones, kind of died out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Lost their spark. In my opinion, a little backstory on Ed and Lorraine is they give us a credit roll of exposition explaining their fame and notoriety, even being recognized by the Catholic Church. Lorraine claiming to be a gifted clairvoyant, a person who could perceive things beyond normal human senses. And also at the end, you gotta throw in a little based on a true story, because of course this all actually happened. Like, for realsies, guys, I swear. The sources trust me, bro. Welcome to Rhode Island as we join the Perrin family moving into their new house. Roger and Carolyn Perrin and their 5 daughters. Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April. Now, I'm going to tell you the first red flag of this entire ordeal. This scene right here. Sadie, their dog, refusing to enter the house. Now, in horror movies, when a main character has a dog or a cat, they can sense when something is afoot.
Yep.
Did you just say a foot? In this scene, Sadie is obviously spooked by this house. And that's what makes this red flag glaring. Because it's not like the dog went into the house and saw a shady looking door in one of the rooms and said, nah, I'm good. She stopped at the front door of the entire house. Which means this hole you dig is broken. At this point, I would have packed all the girls back in the car, resold the house, moved to Fresno, and this movie would have been 7 minutes long.
Fresno? Was that a Monsters vs. Aliens reference?
Look at this place. Type of house that Mordecai and Rigby will find a portal to the underworld in. I do really like the cinematography in this scene, though. All one continuous shot. What the fuck is wrong with the walls? That just looks
the walls
to breathe in. Cindy goes outside to hang her wind chime and calls April to come inside. We're only 8 minutes in and one of the kids has found an inanimate object that certainly won't be used for a jump scare later. It's a music box. One of my favorite tropes in some of these movies is when they turn something innocent to something dark and sinister. Any other time a music box is supposed to be cute, but not in this movie. The girls are playing hide and seek and Roger's like, are you guys done with the pizza? I don't want it to go to waste, blah, blah, blah. Then he's like, it's expensive feeding you girls. Roger, it's your job. You are their father. That's what you signed up for. Don't put your financial problems onto your children. I'm assuming since you guys just moved in, you might not have a refrigerator yet, but I promise you, pizza sitting overnight in a box won't kill you. Just heat it up in the morning. The girls ignore this comment, thankfully, and continue with their game. Now, their version of hide and seek has a cool little twist to it. They blindfold the seeker, spin him around a few times, and the seeker has to find the people hiding. And the way you find them is for them to clap a certain amount of times. You would then have to guide yourself to where they are based on where you think you heard the clap come from, which is honestly a very interesting way to play hide and seek, and I feel like this could be fun, you know, without the whole demons being in our house thing. But I'll get to that. One of the girls is found, but this is a rowdy bunch, so she gets slammed into a wall, which is actually an entrance to a basement/cellar, which I assume was hidden for a reason. But I'm also assuming this didn't show up on the floor plan. Who sold you this house? I feel like an entire hidden floor is a real big thing to leave out. Roger lights a match and starts to go down there, and look at all these cobwebs. There's gotta be a fat-ass spider lurking in the shadows of the ceiling. Sadie's outside barking at the house, and I'm pretty sure if she could talk, she'd be warning her family to get the hell out of here. But now they pass it off like, Sadie's acting kind of weird, huh? Has she ever done this ever? Moving on. Carolyn wakes up with a bruise on her leg. Damn, demons, night 1. Can't let us settle in before you start beating my ass in my sleep. It's been on a tight schedule. Y'all work fast. Andrea mentions to her mom a bad smell in her room, like something had died. Red flag number 3. What was number 2? It was the hidden cellar in the house. Are you keeping up? Roger gets a working down in the cellar, and there's a ton of antique furniture down there, and all of it is covered in webs. Ew, 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 and more ew. Side note, all the clocks in the house keep getting stuck at 3:07. That'll be significant later on. But more importantly, April is looking for Sadie. Where could she have gone? Oh, this is the part where I get pissed off, isn't it? 15 minutes. You couldn't let 15 minutes pass without killing the dog? Why is this a trend in movies? You got a cat? dead. You got a dog? Dead.
Yeah.
You got an owl? Bitch, Avada Kedavra. R.I.P. Sadie, you were a good girl to the end.
I knew he was gonna do the fucking Harry Potter, bro. I didn't know what he was gonna say though.
You all suck. We then check back in with the Warrens. Ed is giving a man a tour of the room with all the supernatural objects they collected over the years. Which I get it. They have it locked up and have a priest come in to bless it once a month. But I still would not feel at all comfortable with all this demonic stuff in my house. Especially if I have a family. Literally the first thing Ed told this guy to do was look and not touch.
That nigga was
What's
from
the
Toy
first thing
Story.
he does?
Touch. Don't touch. Touch. Don't touch. Touch. Do I have to follow you all day?
Ed explains that keeping all this stuff in his house is like keeping guns off the street, which I like that analogy. They know everything there is to know about each individual thing in this room. Whereas you get a family who has no clue, they're not going to suspect the antique lamp is terrorizing their entire family. That was just a drastic example, although could you imagine?
Devil Lamp coming to a theater near you. You'll be sitting with the lights off.
You know, if y'all are looking for a movie like that, hold on, let me see what it's called. I'm gonna put y'all on something real quick. If y'all are looking for something like this, we got Killer Sofa right here. Where's the rating? Where's the rating at? Oh, no synopsis. Killer reclining chair becomes enchanted by a girl and starts committing crimes of passion. So if you guys wanted something like that, it's out there.
As Ed is explaining something to this reporter, I'm assuming, about an incident with Lorraine, something is creeping in the back. Oh my god, it's Judy. Probably my favorite Warren in this series with her various actresses. I always found it so cool that she inherited her mother's abilities. You can see earlier on that she's experiencing these visions, but she's too young to comprehend what exactly she's feeling or seeing. So the guy was a reporter and is writing an article on the Warrens, but while discussing it, Ed goes quiet. Lorraine responding with, "Stop blaming yourself," which is probably alluding to the incident that happened while they were going through with an exorcism. We'll learn what this is, but of course we're not learning it now. You gotta stretch out that Conjuring universe. Cutting back to the parents. Oh, don't open the shot with Sadie's grave.
On,
Didn't move. All the clocks have stopped at 3:07. It's dark and quiet. Way too quiet. Like, damn, no one snores in this family? Christina awakens to someone pulling her leg, and not like some slight tug. I mean, they're yanking her shit. She assumes it's Nancy being a jerk, but how can that be Nancy when she's right there? Also, she's sleeping with her feet out? That's how you get grabbed and taken to the shower room.
That's how you
Sleeping
get
101. Nancy's like, nah, dog, wasn't me. Christine doesn't believe her, but what can you do? Then she tells her to stop farting, which can connect back to the dead smell that Andrea was smelling in her room the other day. These demons are egregious. Like, you get to terrorize me?
Bro, you want to say stop farting? Just crack a window, bro. Crack a window, put the fan up next to the window. You know what I'm saying? I put a fan like in front of you so it's blowing the window. You know what I'm saying? There's a couple, like, you can't tell somebody to stop farting, bro. Unless they're doing it on purpose and they're like about to shit themselves.
Beat my ass. I can't kick you out. You got the nerve to stank too? Y'all got it. Roger's sleeping at his desk. He gets awoken by a loud banging noise. Oh, and I can't sleep either? I think we need a list of terms and conditions for the demons to sign because this is ridiculous. Roger notices a door opening and closing on its own, but it proceeds to open fully, and look at Roger's face. You know, second thought, I don't want to play. I'm taking my ball and going home. He finds no one. Gotta have been the wind. You know, the wind that
must have been.
Hasn't been blowing.
Surely been.
At all. It's a demon, isn't it? Oh, there's the wind. See? Logical explanation for everything. Roger hears another bang. However, when he goes to the stairs, he finds Andrea. Andrea, what the fuck? Why are you standing like this? She got woken up by Cindy sleepwalking into her room. And they go to Andrea's room to find Cindy banging her head on the old wardrobe.
Yeah, this was the one with the wardrobe.
That is so creepy. Like, you're moving and walking and maybe even talking while being completely asleep. The human body, man, I tell you.
Like, hold on. Does anybody sleepwalk? Has anybody like sleptwalked? I remember I did it one time. When I was like, what? I was probably like 8 or 9. I came out of my room. I wasn't lucid, but I remember coming out of my room. I slept on the bottom bunk. Me and my brother shared a bunk bed, shared a room. I was on the bottom bunk. I came out of my room, went into the living room, and I just laid down on the couch. And that was it. That was it. My dad just fucking took me back to my bed, and I went back. I was knocked up. I woke up in my bed the next day. I was like, so that's the only time I've sleptwalked, I think, to my knowledge. I haven't woken up in like weird places. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, okay, that's not entirely true, but moving on.
Roger stops Cindy from giving herself a concussion and takes her back to bed. Andrea is stating that yes, she's sleptwalked before, but she's never done this. Just like Sadie has never refused to enter her house. Are we noticing signs here? As Carolyn is getting out of the shower, Roger finds another bruise, this time on her back, and it's much bigger than the previous one. Demons out here doing Killer Instinct combos on her in her sleep.
Bro.
Shout out to the people who played Killer Instinct growing up. As Roger is leaving the house to go to work, he hears a bang on one of the windows.
I almost played Killer Instinct. It just did not. I don't know. It didn't grab me. I'm sorry, Killer Instinct gangs.
A bird flew right into it, ultimately killing itself. This is often perceived as a bad omen. Something bad is coming. Carolyn waves by the girls and they make their way to school, and she and April are home by themselves. Speaking of April, Carolyn goes to check on her and she's having a full-blown conversation with no one. Red flag number 756. I stopped keeping count a while ago. April tells her mom she's talking to someone named Rory, and of course every parent is just going to assume the child has an...
Does she not look creepy here a little bit? Like, she's the villain later. Spoiler alert. But does she not look a little off here?
Imaginary friend. All of her sisters are at school, so she needs someone to play with. Even I had an imaginary friend. Don't remember his name, but he was a pocket-sized human and he was magical. Dude, I promise
nice
you,
one.
like, no one cares. Will you go away? April claims that Carolyn will be able to see Rory for herself with the
Did y'all have?
music box. When the music stops, you'll see him in the
I
mirror.
keep pausing it. I
behind
keep
you.
pausing it.
Oh, they're so cute when they're stupid. Although, let me shoot them some bail. They have no reason to believe anything supernatural is going on. Wait, what? Everything that has happened so far is totally normal. You're being sarcastic, right? This is looking to be our forever home. I fucking hate it here. Carolyn activates the music box and oh my god. Oh, it's just April. Whew, that was a close one. April then asks her mom if she wants to go play hide and go clap, and oh, I planned. Although playing this upstairs seems like a terrible idea. One false move and you're looking like Peter Griffin at the bottom of those stairs. Carolyn ends up in Andrea's room and she asks for the third and final clap, and a pair of arms reach out of the wardrobe and clap. And I'm not a rocket scientist, but those are not April's hands. Because one,
I can't even
it's too
see
tall,
hands, bro.
and
Hello?
two, this is a horror movie. And how dare the demons join in on a family game? Get your own family tradition, Mr. Demon. You gotta earn your way around here. April pops up behind her mom saying she lost, and Carolyn is very confused on who the fuck was clapping in this room. That sounds weird out of context. Night has fallen again, and just look at this. Look at this setting. This is the beginning of a Scooby-Doo episode. I'm half expecting Jason Voorhees to walk his big lumberjack-built ass into the frame.
Yeah, we can see that.
Getting her
We can
foot
see that
yanked
happening.
again, and she still thinks it's Nancy. Although this time she got yanked full force.
She got yanked all the way out the bed this time.
I just aged myself so hard with that reference. Only 5 people will get that. Christine
Oh,
jokes
wait.
Christine is getting her foot yanked again, and she still thinks it's Nancy. Although this time she got yanked full force. No house party. I think I just aged myself so hard with that reference. Only 5 people will get that. Christine jolts up from her bed. And I just realized this is a young Joey King. She's literally 26 now. We are the same age. That is insane. She looks over to see Nancy completely turned around and dead asleep, and the confusion and dread starts to creep in. Christine goes to check at the end of her bed to see who it is, but nothing's there. Now she's even more confused. Then she gets the bright idea to check on the side of her bed. Christine, why would you do this to yourself? And nothing's there. Yet, the door to their room starts to move by itself to reveal a dark corner, an abnormally dark corner. In fact, this is obsidian black. Jesus. She calls for Nancy. Nancy wakes up and she's like, Christine, what the hell is wrong with you? Christine's like, please tell me you see that. She's like, see what? It's just an ordinary dark ominous corner. Nancy's like, bruh, no one is over there. You're tripping. I'll prove it. And there is indeed no one there. However, the foul smell from earlier comes back and Christine's like, Nancy, on God, that shit's behind you. And what do you know? The door slams shut. They both scream and Roger and Carolyn are awoken. Carolyn tries to get the door open, but it won't budge. However, the demon can only multitask for so long, so they eventually get into the room. Christine is terrified. She's like auto screaming. I don't even think she's putting much thought behind it. Roger checks behind the door and no one's there. However, Nancy says nothing this entire scene. Nancy, you saw the same thing I saw. I didn't see shit. You put it on God. Also, she was standing right next to the door. You didn't slam it yourself, so why aren't you speaking up right now? Then you got the girls in the background acting like their sister belongs in a loony bin. You're all traitors. However, Christine heard
nobody heard what was going on. Nobody believes her.
Just 5 words. It said, I want your family dead.
Oh.
Damn, all right. The hell I do to you?
Right.
I can't exist.
I'm out.
We just needed a place to stay. Like, why we gotta die for it? We check back in with the Warrens, and Ed is attempting to go check out a case while Lorraine because he's still worried about her. However, Lorraine isn't going for it, and they both end up going together. Side note, Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson's chemistry has always been a nice constant throughout all these movies, no matter the quality. I genuinely like them as a couple in these films. Although the case ended up being lame anyway, some couple is getting spooked by the floorboards in their attic because their pipes are bad. Waste of time. More bruises have formed on Carolyn, and I honestly feel so bad for this woman. Look at this. Let the wrong person see this from an outside perspective. It looks like Roger is putting the paws on her. It's nighttime yet again, and Carolyn hears giggling and clapping coming from the hallway. That's strange. The kids should be asleep by now. Carolyn even stating it's way past their bedtime. Carolyn goes to investigate because, of course, we need a movie, and this is by far the scene that scared me the most when I first watched this movie. The young ones are asleep, so she goes to check on the older ones, and everyone is in their bed. So who was clapping earlier? Was it Nosferatu? No, it wasn't fucking Nosferatu. The entire house is eerily quiet, and boom, glass breaking. A door slamming really loud wakes up the whole house. We'll let some glass crash onto the ground, and everyone's having the best sleep of their life. Carolyn is concerned, as she should be. Giggling demons knocking down my frame.
Is that not a horrifying picture there? It might be the lighting, but I'm terrified.
Pictures on the wall concern me too. However, she hears another clap in the distance. Now, personally, I would maybe, I don't know, call the police. But Carolyn's like, nah, I can be the She heads to the stairs of the cellar, and she threatens to lock the door on whoever's down there. But as soon as she turns to the door, it shuts on her face, knocking her down the stairs. Dazed and in pain at the bottom of the stairs, she looks around the cellar, and all of a sudden, sudden a toy ball comes rolling in her direction. She makes a run for it, and as she's climbing the stairs, the light bulb down there explodes, leaving her in darkness. Because the demon's like, I can't haunt you if it's bright in here. She lights a match, and a demon whispers to her, asking if she wants to play hide and clap. Right as a pair of hands appear next to her head and clap really loudly. The match goes out, and she tries her best to get out as the door to the cellar of the stairs can be seen jolting back and forth. Poor Carolyn. We cut to Andrea's room, and she's once again
everybody knocked the fuck out,
banging her head on the haunted-ass wardrobe in her room. Andrea grabs her and just lets her sleep in her room. W big sister. But while she's tucking Cindy in, the door to the wardrobe repeats the banging action as if Cindy was still there. Andrea whips around, slightly creeped out. Tension is high.
This was the part that creeped me out.
This was the part that creeped me out when I was younger. She doesn't say the door to the wardrobe repeats the banging action as if Cindy was still there.
But I was saying this is the part that creeped me out when I was there.
Andrea whips around, slightly creeped out. Tension is high tonight. She slowly makes her way to the wardrobe, but simultaneously Cindy wakes up. She doesn't say anything, but she stares as her older sister pulls both wardrobe doors open to find nothing there. Can't stand these demons. They always pump faking. Cindy lets out a gasp, and Andrea turns around like,
what? It's just an ordinary crabby. Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Whatever this is jumps on top of Andrea.
Yeah, that shit was horrifying.
Roger is just getting home and hears her screaming. He finds Carolyn still banging on the door, and they both run upstairs to the girls. Andrea is fighting for her life, although whatever was attacking her isn't visible anymore. Roger is extremely confused, and no one has answers. Well, for now. Warren's to the rescue.
I remember even in that scene, bro, he's just sitting there screaming at everybody, like demanding answers. Sir, read the room.
Before helping out the parent family, we see them teaching another demonology class, as they're showing footage from one of their previous exorcisms, which I think is the exorcism that the incident with Lorraine.
Chap, are you taking notes? First, there's infestation, okay? Then there's oppression, okay? You see the IONs here? There's a pattern, hold on. Walk with me. Then there's possession, okay?
Oh my God, is that Carolyn?
What the fuck? Oh wait, no. This is the first time they're meeting. This is the first time they're meeting. I'm slow.
Pair of leaky pipes. But Carolyn assures him this is the real deal, and Lorraine offers her services. They make their way to the parent household to meet the family. They exchange names, and Lorraine gives Roger a strange look. Wonder what that's about. Roger and Carolyn give them the breakdown on what's been going on, and Ed and Lorraine both look at each other like,
you got that shit. On God, you got that shit.
They
mention the wardrobe in the cellar, and Lorraine requests to see it. She fills the place out, and something bad definitely went on in this house, but we could have guessed that. Ed makes a comment on the bruises on Carolyn, and apparently her doctor told her it was an iron deficiency, because how else do you explain that? Ed starts the recorder and they get to work. Lorraine talks to April about her friend Rory, and it's about time we get down to the bottom of this little rascal. April gives Lorraine the music box, and something tells me Rory might actually make an appearance this time. Fucking knew it! My gosh, she looks so sad.
There you
Lorraine makes her way outside to the old creepy tree, and what she sees next is bone chilling. Ed asks her what it is, and you hear the
I don't know if he's gonna
see
show
the
it.
pale feet of someone hanging from the tree. Ed's like, yeah, the whole house needs an exorcism. The whole house? The whole house. What the fuck? Yeah, shit crazy for real. Carolyn says they should probably leave, but unfortunately, whatever this thing is latched itself to the family. And wherever they go, it follows. So you mean to tell me no matter where I go on Earth, this thing will always be with me? I call hacks. Hence why Lorraine gave Roger a strange look earlier. She could see the thing attached to him and the kids. Ed and Lorraine express before they can do any type of exercising. I don't think that's the right term for that. They have to get an approval from the church.
Yeah.
So it's investigating time. While listening back to the recording of his interview with Carolyn, Ed realizes that Carolyn's voice didn't record at all, but everyone else's did. You can hear Ed asking and responding, but Carolyn's voice is completely mute. I have a really bad feeling about this. Lorraine tells the story of a witch who lived on the land, a woman who sacrificed her own baby and proclaimed her life to Satan. She hung herself, cursing anyone who took her land. And guess what time her death was pronounced?
Side note, all the clocks in the house keep getting stuck at 3:07. That'll be significant later on.
Ha! Callback. And it seems like every single previous owner of this house has suffered a great loss.
It's like, my problem with these movies is like they set it up and you see the setup. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, like the music box. He was like, bro, this clearly will not be, important later on. Or like, the 307, that's going to have something to do with something later on. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, bro, I don't know. These movies are just kind of obvious. They're very obvious. The Pope Exorcist, I think it was. That one was probably like, if these movies are like 4s and 5s, and I'll give two a 6. I'll give two a 6.5. But like, if these were like that, I probably say Pope's Exorcist. We're not talking about that here, but I probably say, but this is a demon movie. You know what I'm saying? It's a demon movie. So I probably say that one was probably like a 6. You know what I'm saying? Only because it wasn't as obvious as, the ending. The ending wasn't as obvious. Why did I air quote? As the rest of them, because they knew the demon's name, and I think they called on Jesus as well. And the demon said, nah. You know what I'm saying? So,
and taking their own life. The tape starts to
a demon that knows the Bible Dangerous motherfucker.
Play back, and all of a sudden, Carolyn's voice is replaced with distorted screams of agony, and the little clock on the table has stopped at 3:07. How peculiar. The next morning, they head back to the parent household, joined by their assistant Drew and Officer Brad Hamilton. They take their gear and start heading inside to set up. Carolyn and Lorraine share a nice moment inside. Carolyn explaining to her how her family means everything to her. We also get a glimpse of Lorraine's abilities.
This one, and then this comes in handy later as well.
Experiences of the dead, but the experiences of the living as well. Meanwhile, Drew is in the other room flirting with Andrea, and she's fully with the shits. However, Ed interrupts, making sure everything is set up right, and while they're talking, a door opens, sounding off the bell that Drew attached to the door. Oh shit, it's getting active. Oh wait, it's just Officer Brad. Damn it, Brad!
Oh, no, he's just taking a shit.
And it's time for the investigation to start. Ed busts out the holy water and the crosses. Roger's like, reminds me of vampires. I don't believe in vampires. But you believe in demons? One of the bells goes off, and it's not Brad this time. Ed gears up to head to the cellar and see if he can document anything. While they're down there, Lorraine starts to have an episode. All right, everybody, now's the time to take a shot of holy water. You're supposed to splash it, not drink it. That's highly inappropriate. You're an idiot. After this, nothing really happens. They hear a slight creak, but nothing after that. The demon has been doing 50 other extravagant-ass activities, but as soon as it gets put on the spot, it wants to act shy. They go back upstairs to check in with Carolyn and Roger, and now the demon wants to do something. It slams the door shut, damn near almost crushing Carolyn. The next morning, everyone's spirits are looking up, although you can tell they're just trying to make good of a bad situation. It's that distraction you use while that creeping thought of something bad is going to happen is right in the back of your head. And the daytime is usually where they can at least have some sort of peace. It's also nice to see the sort of relief that Ed and Lorraine bring to the family. I like the moments like this in these movies. However, don't get too comfortable, because a few moments later, while Lorraine is helping the family with their laundry, a dark presence creeps in, and the clouds in the sky get a little darker. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. It also starts to get real windy. So windy to the point where one of the sheets hanging up blows away into the shape of a person. Wait, that's not normal, is it? Hell no! The sheet then blows away out the window of a room.
That was a nice touch. That was a nice touch. The sheet flying off, hitting a human, and then flying away like for a second. That was tough.
Carolyn's room. Oh shit, the demon wants Carolyn. Lorraine tries to get to her, but the door is locked. She goes around the other way, and Carolyn opens the door, and she's fine? Oh, problem solved then. What were we worrying about? She's possessed, you idiot. Oh, yeah, no, that makes more sense. Lorraine asks Carolyn if she's okay, but she just says she was feeling a little nauseous. Lorraine is about to press her with more questions, but Carolyn dodges it, saying she hears Roger and the girls. Which, how can you hear them if they just pulled up? Roger heads over to Ed working on their own car. He expresses how grateful he is that Ed and Lorraine came when they did. And Ed gives a little insight on why he was hesitant to come at first. As the same for Roger, as he was also skeptical asking them for their help. Ed says that every time Lorraine sees or feels anything, it takes a toll on her, a little piece each time.
Hold on, I gotta ask this question. What are we doing working on a car when the house is haunted? This is just a dude scene, bro. This is a man's job, man's scene, bro. A scene for the car guys, I guess, dude. Where are the demons?
If it's leaky pipes, yeah, sure, whatever, hit us up. But when it's actually demonic activity, I can only imagine how scared Ed must be whenever him and Lorraine take on a new case. Then we finally get a look back at the incident they've been referring to the whole movie. The man they were performing an exorcism on suddenly grabs Lorraine and looks her into the eyes. She screams a blood-curdling scream and the flashback ends. After that, Lorraine locked herself in her and Ed's room and didn't talk, eat, or come out for a whole week. Ed still doesn't know what she saw and he doesn't want to ask. But whatever it was, it took a huge piece of her. The fuck was that? While making some late night coffee,
I'm pretty sure that comes back in too.
Officer Brad hears something outside. While he's looking through the window, you hear someone whisper, "Look what you made me do." Brad goes to check it out, but doesn't see anybody, of course. But the rocking chair on the porch starts to rock back and forth. Once again, could be the wind. Tough man Brad walks his big burly ass out there, but still nothing. Oh, these damn demons are boring. He goes back inside and, hey, who's that? Oh yeah, that's not creepy at all. Side note, I'm writing the script right now and it's paused on this frame and it's creeping me the hell out. The ghost maid holds up her arms and both her wrists are slit. And I think I was getting it wrong. She whispers again and I'm pretty sure she says, "Look what she made me do." The maid walks out of frame. Brad follows, but she's not there. He's about to go get Ed, but then the maid appears again, this time a little more aggressive. Everyone runs back there to see what's going on, but it can never just be one thing, can it? Because Cindy starts sleepwalking again. Now they have all the cameras set up to take a picture whenever something paranormal passes through, which means Cindy is not sleepwalking alone here. They like watch her walk into the room and the door slams behind her, which I get you gotta capture whatever it is. But that's also a child who's walking into a room with a demon attached to her by herself. This doesn't seem morally safe, Ed. I don't get why they keep trying to get into these doors. Demon strength. I
forgot that they just let her go. Like, they were like, wait. Let's let her do it. Let's let her walk. Like, nigga, what? There's a demon.
Human strength. If it was up to the demon, it's going to be closed for all eternity. They make it in, but Cindy is nowhere to be found. However, Ed comes up with a pretty good idea to use a UV light to figure out what direction she went in. And Ed finds her in the wall, just chilling too, having a real good rest. Thanks for scaring us half to death, Sin. April notes to Lorraine that where they found Cindy is where Rory would hide when he was afraid of something. Lorraine goes in, and creepily enough, there's still children's clothes in there and old toys from way back when. This place really hasn't been touched in years. Except for one thing. There's a cutout in the dust that's oddly music box shaped. Oh, it's the music box that April found. Yeah, Yeah, I was alluding to that without saying it. Thanks for ruining that moment. Anyway, Ed grabs it from April, Lorraine places it down, and what do you know? Perfect fit. She also finds a noose. What's that doing here? Oh shit, Lorraine fell through the floor. She lands somewhere, and Ed is running around the house freaking out. We cut back to her, and she's in the cellar. That's a bad thing, right? Yes, of course it's a bad thing. Lorraine picks up the music box and twists the key, and we start to hear Rory crying in the distance. We see through the little mirror that it's Rory's mother holding his dead body as she has a kitchen knife in her hand while crying, "She made me do it." Moments later, she slowly turns to look directly at Lorraine. Lorraine turns to look back, but she's gone. Another spirit appears in front of Lorraine, once again saying those same 5 words. "She made me."
I think this jump scare got me. There were some good jump scares in this movie. I just felt like it was super slow.
Do it. We can assume it's the witch who cursed this land, forcing these people to take the lives of their loved ones and ultimately their own. The spirit looks off into the distance, signing that someone else is there. Something sinister. No, not that sinister. Lorraine peeks out from under the table.
Sinister, I'm not gonna lie. Sinister could not grab me. I've seen that movie 4 times, bro. I can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. Are the kids going into the VCR? Is he capturing them and is he? What the fuck? Somebody explain Sinister to me, please.
With the sound of friction from the rope. The body then turns to Lorraine's direction and starts levitating towards her. She gets out of dodge, but it catches Lorraine by her necklace, attempting to choke her, but she breaks it off and continues to run. The necklace being left behind is extremely bad, but no time for that. Lorraine has made a discovery. The witch's goal is to possess the mother and kill their children, as the witch did herself way back when she sacrificed her baby. It wants to feed off Carolyn to the point where she kills her entire family, calling back to when it told Christina it wants her whole family dead. Then all of the crosses in the room begin to get smacked down. Nancy's hair starts levitating and she gets thrown into the wall, being dragged.
Oh yeah, she got fucking
Lorraine thinks fast and cuts a piece of her hair with the scissors, stopping the dragging from continuing. They all head out of the house, having documented more than enough for the church to authorize an exorcism. Something guides Lorraine to the pond nearby, and oh shit, it's Judy! The necklace being left behind in the cellar, that was the necklace that Judy gave her, which means Judy might be in trouble. Lorraine calls the house and tells her mom to go check on Judy, and she's just fine. However, I feel like that was more of a warning sign. Leave before I do something rather than I've already done it. We check back in on the parent family for a split second as they check into a motel, and something is clearly wrong with
I'm gonna keep it a bug. I forgot who Judy was.
Carolyn. Ed and Lorraine play the footage for a priest they know, and he claims it won't be easy because their kids aren't baptized and are not members of the church. But seriously, dude, the entire family will die without their help. I think we could throw some rules out the window just once. I mean, these are children we're talking about. He agrees to help, and then we cut to the Warren household. Wait, why are we cutting to the Warren household? And why do I see Judy on the screen? Oh god. Okay, Judy wakes up in the middle of the night and she finds her way downstairs to the haunted stuff room. And something
obviously
is missing.
It's unlocked.
Not just any something. Annabelle is missing. She goes to head back upstairs, but the top of the staircase is absorbed by a darkness, like a pure black engulfing the stairs. Judy can sense something is wrong, but even if she didn't have her mother's abilities, any child seeing this probably wouldn't go up the stairs either. She rushes into the study and hears loud banging coming her way. She begins to scream, but suddenly she hears something behind her. It's the witch. And she's playing with Annabelle. Get your own demonic vessel to attach to, you hobo. Ed and Lorraine make it just in time, and the rocking chair. Why is there always a fucking rocking chair? In the room gets thrown full force. Ed grabbing Judy out of the way as he's just about to hit her. Judy tells her mom that the lady in the chair was playing with Annabelle. Ed goes to check as she's back in her original place. Back at the motel where the parents are staying, the girls all rush Roger's car to tell him that Carolyn took off with April and Christine. It's final act time, baby. We cut to April and Christine in the back of Carolyn's car, and Christine asks Carolyn where they're going, but her face just remains blank as she drives back to the countryside. Ed and the gang get back to the house, blow the door off, and run to the cellar. Damn. Luckily, Roger and Drew are already there, holding Carolyn back from stabbing Christine with a pair of scissors. Damn. They get loose and drag her upstairs to take her outside, but once they get to the door, Carolyn's body starts to decay. Lorraine explaining that the thing will let her leave. If they bring her out of the house, it will kill her. She gets pulled back to the cellar, calling for Roger's name, symbolizing that Carolyn is still in there somewhere. Drew takes Christine back to the car and goes to find April. Back in the cellar, possessed Karen is whooping everybody's ass. She's got Ed in a chokehold as she bites off a piece of skin from Officer Brad's neck. They restrain her down, and Ed wants to wait for the priest, but Lorraine says there's not enough time. Out of options, Ed lands on the only one that makes sense. He'll have to perform the exorcism himself. Roger is skeptical, but they have no other choice. Lorraine goes to grab the Bible, and at the same time, Drew is still looking for April. Lorraine makes it back to the cellar with the book, and Ed begins. Things start to go awry as birds start crashing into the house and everything around starts rumbling and breaking. Carolyn begins to cough up blood. Roger wants to stop, but Lorraine says they're now fighting for her soul. We get a peek into the blanket, and the witch's face is fully replaced Carolyn's. Ed staring back in terror. The chair starts to levitate in the air and flips Carolyn upside down, and honestly, this is a pretty sick magician act. Have some respect. Ed yells at it to put her down, and she crashes to the ground, breaking the chair. I think the demon took you a little too literal there, Ed. They all gather around
you never. If there's somebody precariously hanging over a ledge in the air or something, never say drop them, put them down. Never say that. Never say that. You gotta be very specific with shit like that, bro. You gotta be like, hey, can you like step away from the ledge and unhand them, please. You know what I'm saying? In that order, por favor. You know what I'm
The
saying?
large dresser behind Ed comes crashing down. Carolyn, oh yeah, not Carolyn, starts to laugh. Roger is fed up at this point and rips off the sheet, telling it to leave him and his family alone. Not Carolyn looks back at him and says, she's already gone. Not Carolyn escapes, and damn it, Drew, how did you let the demon find April before you did? She gets a hold of April, and before she's about to stab her, Ed yells out the witch's real name. And she stops in her tracks, replacing Carolyn's body with her own. Lorraine grabs upon her head and flashes her memories of her and the family. Roger in the background telling her to stay with him. And she eventually breaks through, expelling the demon from her body. Morning sets and they take Carolyn out the house, and she's just fine. Her skin no longer decaying when she reaches the outside air. The girls pull up at the same time and they all hug.
And then the fucking movie ends.
Relief. April walks up to Lorraine and gives her something. Oh, it's a necklace. I almost forgot about that thing. Ed and Lorraine return home and the Vatican calls saying they approved the exorcism. A little too late for that. We get one last shot of the music box playing and the movie cuts to black. All in all, I'd say the first Conjuring is still an entertaining watch. Yeah, by now we've seen a million movies like this, but I don't know. This one has a sort of charm to it. But I could be biased. I mean, I really enjoyed the Conjuring when it first came out and the second one. And while this formula is pretty played out by today's standards, I say it holds up just fine. But what do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. My name
Definitely, I feel like the Conjuring 1, like I said, was a little slow. I still stand by that. It was pretty slow. Nothing really happened until the third act. Like, you know what I'm saying? You had the kids flying around the rooms and shit, but like that was still like towards the middle of the movie, the middle end of the movie, I'd say. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Conjuring was solid. Like I said, what did I give this one? A 6.5? I can't remember what I gave it, but you know what I'm saying. This was probably a 5.56, and then 2 was probably a 6.57, 6.5, and then 3. I can't even remember 3, bro. 3 was the one with the lady in the fucking, you know what I'm saying, in the catacombs and shit, and I don't know. And then I think she possessed Ed. That's his name, right? I don't know, man. But yeah, love y'all. See y'all.